guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today it is the big one. Today it is my official 23-24 championship table predictions. Now before we get into this, do try to take these predictions with a pinch of salt. We're all of us are not going to have the same predictions. If you're feeling brave, do feel free to leave your two predictions down in the comments down below. And also, while you're there, if you're new, feel free to like and subscribe. It would be massively appreciative. Make sure to turn on post notifications bell to never miss a video or shoot of mine. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So coming in 24th, I've seen quite a few people have put this team in the relegation zone recently. It is newly promoted Sheffield Wednesday. Now, what's happened at Sheffield Wednesday this summer so far has been an absolute mess. Darren Moore leaving the club and Sheffield Wednesday bringing in Xisco Munoz as his replacement. They've been quite quiet in the transfer window so far, and it's a bit concerning. The only signings, Juan Delgado, if I pronounce that right, from I think it's Pacos de Ferreira or something in the Portuguese league. So he has zero experience in the championship, so that's a bit of a gamble there. Ashley Fletcher, a striker on loan from Watford, and Reece James they've re-signed from Blackpool. So they've not really done much in the transfer window. I feel like they still need to make quite a few more signings, Sheffield Wednesday, and they've actually had some key outgoings, like Deli Bashir and Dennis Adniran, both leaving the club. So I think it's going to be very tough for Sheffield Wednesday this season, and sadly I've got them down in 24th. So yeah, that's who I've got on my 24th spot, Sheffield Wednesday. Moving into 23rd, I've got QPR. Now QPR have signed that defender Lakeshi from Fulham. He spent last season on loan at Barnsley, I do believe. They've also re-signed Taylor Richards from Brighton after him having a loan spell there last season, and Asmir Begovic as a goalkeeper for this season, because they've lost Sonny Dieng and also massive loss Rob Dickie. So I feel like it's going to be a very tough season again for QPR. They narrowly survived last season under Ainsworth in the end. Don't think he's really the right manager for them, so I can't see the season going well for them. So I've got QPR to go down in 23rd. Coming in as the last relegation spot, I'm sorry Middles fans, I've got you there, Rotherham. Now Rotherham have signed Cafu from Nottingham Forest. He could have a good experience for that Rotherham team. Also Dylan Phillips, a backup goalkeeper for them from Cardiff, and also has re-signed Grant Hall on a permanent from, I think it was QPR Middlesbrough. Do correct me. But they've re-signed him. They've lost some key player, Chio Ogbene, gone to Luton Town, and don't really feel like they've replaced him. And their loan signings last season, like Yelda, Conor Coventry and Tarek Fossey, they've all gone as well. So I think it's going to be very hard, unfortunately, for all of them. And I'd love it if they proved me wrong again, but sadly I've got them to finish in 22nd. Moving into 21st, team that's just going to scrape survival, I've gone for Huddersfield under Neil Warnock. Now, Huddersfield, they've been very quiet in this transfer window so far. They made one signing, backup goalkeeper Chris Maxwell, with Bela Kopic, or however you say it. Huddersfield's third choice keeper last season. He's gone to Peterborough on a permanent. But yeah, they've also lost flights of Etienne Kamara to Udinese, and Humbo. They've lost because they had them on loan for the second half of last season from Watford. So I don't know, the lack of activity really concerns me with Huddersfield, but I feel like they're just going to do it. I feel like Neil Warnock would work his magic again, and we're just going to survive for me in 21st. And moving into 20th is my second newly promoted team, and it is Plymouth. Now Plymouth have signed two big signings. They've re-signed Bally Mumba and Morgan Whittaker on a permanent. That's big news for them. They were one of the both breakout stars in that team last season. when they won League One and comfortably got promoted in the end. Also signed Conor Hazard, a backup goalkeeper from Celtic, and they signed that left back from Twente, FC Twente in the Dutch league, who I can't pronounce his name, but he seems decent as well. I feel like they're going to do it this year. Plymouth just kind of enough to survive, and a great manager in Steven Schumacher. Going to do it. Plymouth are finishing in 20th for me. Now moving into 19th, this is where I have maybe a controversial pick, maybe a bit of a shock to you guys, but I have gone with Watford to finish in 19th under Valérien Ismaël to start the season. Let's see how long he lasts there. Watford, I don't know, just, I haven't got a great vibe about them. Two big losses for them in Sarr and Pedro to Marseille and Brighton. That's going to really hurt them in this new season. You know, and they've brought in like players like Jake Liverpool, good experience, but not really long term, isn't it? And players, well, they've really made some really underwhelming signings, to be fair. So yeah, I don't know about Watford. I've not got a great feeling about them. I feel like they're going to finish in the bottom half, so that's why I've got them down in 19th. But in 18th, I've got Cardiff. Now Cardiff have made some decent signings, to be fair. The re-signing of Aaron Ramsey, that's a sentimental one, at least, to be fair. Yaku Mate from Reading, proven goal scorer in the Championship. Colin Grant on loan from West Brom, I think can do very well. Gutas as well from the Turkish league. Of course, their new manager Erol Balu has managed all his managerial career over in Turkey, so it's going to be a big test for him. But they made some decent signs, to be fair, and I think they could make a slight improvement on their 21st place finish last season. So that's where I've got Cardiff. Coming in 17th, I have put Birmingham. Now, Birmingham have made quite a few exciting signs, to be fair to them. The permanent sign of Dion Sanderson after a successful loan spell last season, re-signing Christian Bielik from Derby as well, really good signing. Sariki Dembele from Bournemouth, he looks like he's going to be a very good player. Did well at Peterborough when they were in the Championship. Koji Mayoshi from the Belgian league, he looks like a very exciting player as well. Yeah, they have made quite a few signs. Birmingham, Ethan Laird as well from Man United, left back. But for one thing with Birmingham, I think they lack a goal scorer. You know, Jukovic and Hogan are not really like the going to score like 20 plus goals a season now, aren't they, for Birmingham? So I don't see them pushing up the league until they sign a proven goal scorer for a Championship. So that's where I've got them at the moment in 17th. Coming in 16th, I've got Hull. Now Hull signed quite a few players. Jason Aquilo from the Dutch league, Liam Delap on loan from Man City, Ruben Vinagre on loan from Sporting. He's going to be a good signing. I haven't really lost him on too majorly, apart from Darlow going back to Newcastle, and he looks like he's gonna sign for Leeds now. So that's a bit of a shame for Hull. But you know, I think Hull can have another decent season, finishing mid-table. So that's why I've got them in 16th. Coming in 15th, I put Stoke. Now Stoke have made quite a few signings, to be fair. Daniel Johnson from Preston, and Stevens from Sheffield United. Chiquinho and Hoover from Wolves, very, very good signings, both of them. And Mark Travers as well on loan from Bournemouth, goalkeeper. So they have made some quite good signings, Stoke. I feel like they could do all right this season. Another bottom half finish for them, but maybe signs of little improvements. So that's why I got them in 15th. Coming in 14th, this is my last newly promoted side, and of course, as you could probably guess by now, it is Ipswich. Now Ipswich have made some exciting signings, it's fair to say. Mari Hutchinson on loan from Chelsea looks very good. George Hurst on a permanent now from Leicester after he had a good second half of last season out on loan at Ipswich. And yeah, they've got some very, very experienced Championship players who were playing at League One level last season, so I feel like they could come into this league and comfortably get the table And yeah, that's why I've got them finishing in 14th. Now in 13th, I've got my side, Bristol City. Now we have signed centre-back Rob Dickey from QPR. He looks like a very good signing, did well with QPR. We signed Hayden Roberts from Brighton. He spent last season out loan at Derby, left back. Did very, very well as well, because we did lose the Silva to Coventry in a free. So we needed another backup left back, so we got that in Hayden Roberts. Ross McCrory from Aberdeen. He can play right back, centre back, or CDM. So he is very versatile, which is very, very important. And Jason Knight from Derby as well. I believe that he is going to be our Alex Scott replacement. He's still a Bristol City player at the moment, Alex Scott, but I do have a feeling that come the end of the transfer window that he will sadly be at a different club, probably in the Premier League. So it's good that we got his replacement. And yeah, I feel like we can have a decent season, you know. Got good strikers, Tommy Conway, Naki Wells, Anthony Mehmeti, Mark Sykes, you know, putting in the streams on the wings. But nah, yeah, it's going to be a good season, I think. But it's just quite a lot of good teams this year, so it's also going to be tough. So yeah, 13th, I've put my side, Bristol City. Coming in 12th, they finished 12th last season, and I'm going to say they're going to finish there again, Preston. Yeah, Preston, their key outgoing is Daniel Johnson to Stoke. But I think other than that, they haven't really lost anyone too major. They've brought in the likes of Mads Frokje Jensen from the Danish league, centre attacking midfielder. Will Keane from Wigan Athletic. He scored quite a few goals for them last season. Wigan, whilst they did unfortunately get relegated. And they've also signed Calvin Ramsey on loan from Liverpool as well. So they've made some decent signings, got decent players. You know, Preston always come mid-table, so, you know, they're going to finish mid-table again, typical Preston. Now, coming in 11th, I've got Blackburn Rovers. Now, I'm honestly not too sure where to put Blackburn, because a lot of stuff seems to be happening at Blackburn. Their manager's being linked away, they're losing a lot of players. They've lost Ben Merritt and Diaz on a free, which is really not good for them. They couldn't get a fee for him. Should have cashed in potentially the season the summer last year, but nah, they didn't in the end. They have lost him on a free to Villarreal. Yeah, made some decent signings like Sigurdsson from the Russian league, looks decent, and Tronstad from the Dutch league. Could be decent signs, but I'm not too sure where to put Blackburn, which is why I put them in around the middle. So yeah, Blackburn in 11th for me. Coming in 10th, I've got Norwich. Now, Norwich have made quite a few signings, some smart signings, likes of Jack Stacey, Shane Duffy in the fence, on the free as well, both decent business there. Borges signs, Spanish winger. I think he's already injured, but maybe that could be a good signing. Christian Fastnacht from the Swiss league as well, another winner. I really like the look of him. He looks very exciting, so he could be a very good player. But they've lost the likes of, you know, Pukki, and well, Pukki's mainly their major outgoing. But yeah, I've got Norwich in 10th, and they're not going to win the league like they used to in the past. But nah, they have a decent season, finishing in 10th. Coming in 9th, I've got Swansea. Now Swansea, they've signed Jerry Yates from Blackpool, very good goal scorer out of SL, scored 14 goals in a relegated Blackpool side last season, which is not bad at all. Also signed Josh Sinnelly from Hearts. He had a brief stint in the EFL of Preston before. Looks to be decent. Also Josh Key, right back from Exeter, which we did need strengthening in, so that's a good signing from Swansea. Lost Ryan Madden to Southampton, and of course with Russell Martin going there as well, brought in Michael Duff as manager to replace him, and I do like the way he plays, very aggressive and attacking minded. So yeah, Swansea to finish in 9th. They have a good season, a push for playoffs, but unsuccessful in the end, but still ninth. You got to look at as an improvement from last season with, Swansea finishing, only one place improvement, but still a good season nonetheless. Coming in 8th, I've got Sunderland. I've got them to unfortunately just miss out on the playoffs. Sunderland, they signed a lot of young players. It's typical Sunderland. They try and make it their squad as youthful as possible. Likes of Stilt defender from the Dutch league, Lewis Semedo from Benfica, he looks very exciting. Of course, I lost Diallo, who's gone back to Man United after a good loan spell there last season. Jack Clarke is heavily interested from likes of Burnley in the Premier League, so I could maybe see him going as well, which would be a big loss to Sunderland. So yeah, I feel like there's a lot of good teams this year, so I feel like Sunderland will just miss out on the playoffs this year, unfortunately for them, after getting it last season. So yeah, 8th place Sunderland. Coming in 7th, I've got West Brom. Now, West Brom, I'd originally had them in the playoffs when I made my table predictions, because I thought, when Carlos Corberán came in last season, when he came in as manager of West Brom, if you calculate all the points each team accumulated since he came in, West Brom would have finished 6th. So, but it looks like a lot of financial issues going on in West Brom, stuff behind the scenes, doesn't look good for them. So I feel like they may struggle. I feel like they'll push a playoffs, but they won't quite reach it. Only one signing so far, Sarmiento, from Brighton. They need to make more signings, because they could struggle this year, maybe. Well, not struggle, but struggle to get playoffs. So that's why I've got them in 7th. Now, coming in 6th, my first playoff spot, I've gone for Coventry. Massive loss in Gyökeres to Sporting, but good signing to replace him in Ellis Sims. Sakamoto from the Belgian league, he looks interesting. Latabodier and the Silva in defence, and Bobby Thomas as well in defence. And Bradley Collins, who potentially could be a backup to Ben Wilson. We'll have to wait and see. I think Coventry will just about get playoffs again. But yeah, that'll be another good season. Coventry finishing in 6th. Coming in 5th, I've gone for Millwall. I have gone for Millwall to finally get into the playoffs. They made some decent signings. Kevin Nisbet from Hibs. Joe Bryan from Fulham. He's no stranger to the Championship. Legend for Bristol City. And Wes Harden from Rotherham. Good experience. Casper De North from the Belgian league. I'm pretty sure he could be decent as well. I think he's a right back or a midfielder. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I feel like this is the season when Millwall finally get into playoffs. They're gonna do it. Millwall are getting into the playoffs. 4th place for me, I've gone for Southampton. Now, the first relegated side I've come up in my predictions. Southampton, they've signed Shea Charles, 15 million Johnson from Man City, but he's got big pressure going to Southampton. Other than that, they haven't really signed many people. But yeah, they still got a stacked squad. I feel like they can get in the playoffs. Russell Martin, he's going to need time to settle in as manager of Southampton. But yeah, once he gets going, they will get playoffs. I do believe I'm finishing 4th place. Now in 3rd place, just missing out on the automatics, I've got Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough have lost 3 loanees, major loanees that were there last season. Ryan Giles, Cameron Archer and Aaron Ramsey, the 2 Aston Villa loanee duo. But yeah, they made some decent signings. They've got a few players from the Australian league, like Sam Silvera, goalkeeper Tom Glover, Sonny Dieng as well. Probably going to be their #1 keeper after, obviously, what's his name? The Man City goalkeeper. I forgot his name. Zach Steffen, that's it. Who's gone back to Man City now. But yeah, I feel like they'll have a good season, Middlesbrough, but just unfortunately miss out on automatics for them, which will be a pain for those fans. 2nd place now, automatically promoted, I've gone for Leeds. Now, Leeds have lost quite a few players, like Rodrigo, and sent like Christensen, Aronson on loan, Also Llorente, I think, on loan, and maybe Robin Cook on loan as well. But yeah, still got a stack squad. Ethan Ampadu, very nice to find, that's a good signing. Daniel Varka does know how to get teams out of the championship, so that's why I've gone for Division second. And in first place, winning the league, as you could probably guess by now, I've gone for Leicester. Leicester just have an unbelievable squad for championship. Signs of Harry Winks, Connor Cody, Callum Doyle on loan from Man City. He had a good successful loan spell with Coventry last season. Hermarsson as the new goalkeeper. Yes, there's a lot of lost likes of Madison Barnes, but they still got a stacked squad for the championship under Enzo Maresca. So I feel like they can have a very good season and comfortably win the league, in my opinion. So that's where I put Leicester City. But there we go, guys. Those are my championship predictions. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, comment your predictions down below. And I'll see you guys later. Take care and goodbye.